Greetings dear friends, Dragon here once again. If it is your first time stumbling onto the channel, then do please consider clicking that red button and subscribing. It would be a big help. Okay, first review that I've had a chance to do in a little while, and what a film it is for. This is Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, released by Third Window Films, that I picked up pretty recently from Terracotta, and would absolutely recommend, not just for this movie, but for any Third Window films you're looking to get. Try and get them from Terracotta if you at all can. They take a much lower percentage of cash from Third Window than the bigger companies like Amazon, HMV, those sort of places do, so more money kind of goes back to Third Window, lets them support more films like this, and it's a tremendous film that they've kind of chosen to support. So easily the best science fiction movie I've seen in quite a long time, and one of the all-time best low-budget movies I've ever seen. So relentlessly inventive, so creative, really, really good. I think as little as you know about this going into it, the better in some ways, but the synopsis on Third Window's own website says, cafe owner Kato discovers that his PC monitor shows what will happen 2 minutes in the future. Another screen downstairs in his cafe shows the past 2 minutes. His friends decide to place the two mysterious devices opposite each other, which creates a time loop to see into the future. Naturally, chaos ensues. Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes is a delightfully light-hearted flick shot in one single take about 5 innocent, heartwarming friends who discover the art of time travel. Yeah, pretty much. And I think, in essence, really, really small cast. So I think this was 10 actors, shot over about 10 days, mostly shot on iPhone, which is astounding. I think there's a couple of kind of larger format cameras used for some of the footage that appears on the TV, and an iMac as more of a prop than a kind of an instrumental part of the movie, though I suspect they probably used that for editing too. But incredible performances, particularly by the cafe owner Kato, who's been played by Kazunari Tosa. The film was directed by Junta Yamaguchi, and most of the cast has been pulled from a theatre troupe, the Kikaku theatre group that he is a part of. It's his directorial debut, which is even more astounding, given how accomplished the film is, particularly on a technical level. There's still a lot of shots that had me scratching my head about how they've managed to achieve it. You can see the inspiration for the film on here. There's a short film called The Howling, about 10 minutes long, which kind of has the same concept at its core, but a much shorter, more condensed version. And I think they've done a really good job of expanding it out into a 70-minute feature film. It's the original Japanese title, Dorosute no Hate de Bokura, which I think means we at the end of the Drosta, and the Drost Effect kind of comes into play in the movie. They mention it. The Drosta is based on this image from the front of a Dutch cocoa brand's advertising logo in the front of their packaging, which kind of had one single image which sort of repeats. So there's basically a girl on the cover of the box holding her own box, which has her own image on the front of the box, and so on, kind of repeats into infinity. So that's where we get the term the Drost Effect from, or Drost Effect. And they mentioned that in the film. They kind of use that as one of the sort of central tenets of how the kind of ever-repeating image that you see on the screen here is able to work. But just an absolute joy, really. A really kind of gloriously good, fun, pretty inventive movie. I think along the way he encounters or runs afoul of the Yakuza, and then eventually the Time Police, but that's about as much as I want to tell you, because I think just go into the movie knowing that and little else more and you will have a riot of a good time. It's really, really good. Highly, highly recommended. Special features wise, on the disc you get the original short film that inspired it, The Howling, which runs for about 10 minutes. You get a behind the scenes making of documentary, as well as an interview with the director Junta Yamaguchi. It's being spoken about in the same sort of vein as the other kind of one-shot movie, or apparently one-take movie that kind of came out of Japan quite recently, One Cut of the Dead. In fact, there's even a quote from the director on the front of the box. I think they know each other. I think they're kind of friends. The two directors are kind of moving in the same sort of circles. And this is a very different style of movie. Obviously kind of much more of a zombie / horror / comedy. This is more of a sci-fi / comedy. But both really highly, highly recommended. I think this kind of new emergence of these sort of apparently one-shot type movies in Japan has led to them creating a little kind of wee mini-genre all of their own, which in Japanese is called the Nagamawashi, or the one long shot type movies, particularly if they're coming from the sort of low-budget sensibilities. But yeah, more inventiveness in these two movies than I've seen from anything coming out of America in the last 20 years. Highly, highly recommended both of them, and definitely do please, if you're considering getting either, try and track them down from Terracotta. Joey from Terracotta is an incredibly nice dude, works really, really hard to kind of give incredible customer service, so you always get your order really well packed, pretty quickly shipped out if they have the thing in stock. They're also really good for pre-orders for 88 Films, Eureka and Arrow titles as well. So I'll leave links down to all that sort of stuff below. And also, lastly, would highly recommend that you check out the Third Window podcast. and they had Joey on as a guest quite recently. So Joey joined Adam from Third Window, and they kind of spoke about the complexities of running a small label and a small distribution company. Kind of highly recommended. If you like boutique labels, then do please definitely check out that episode, because it's fantastic and gives you a bit more of an insight into just how tough I think it is to kind of find a way of competing with the big box stores and competing with Amazon. And I think both the two companies, Third Window and Terracotta, are doing a wonderful job. It would be a very sad day if we didn't have the likes of them doing the work that they do. So that's it for today. I've been the Fanatical Dragon. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know in the comments below if you have seen either movie or if you're planning to, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.